Should Tom Brady be worried about the Rams? 30 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I would be worried about the Rams.
Yeah.
Considering, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, the last time they played Tampa, they got after Tom Brady with 3 sacks. So, of course, with a wounded offensive line, you're having a backup at tackle. You're going to have a wounded center who's trying to play hurt. So I really, 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 really would be nervous to think that Tom Brady isn't going to be affected by the pass rush. And we know that the Rams love to get after the quarterback because they have beasts on that defensive line.
I find it fascinating that we just had a graphic up there that suggested that our analytics like the Buccaneers by a pretty significant gap there, 66% or whatever that number was, I saw it there a moment ago, is, to me, it's a big number. They like them a lot better than I think a lot of us like them. But Nico, and again, we joke around about this, but you played with Brady, and I know you're close to him, and you see this is when they met last time, and the Rams got all kinds of pressure and all kinds of difficulty for Brady in a game that they won, and since that time, they've added Von Miller, and the Bucs are playing with a banged-up offensive line, particularly Tristan Wirfs. So all sorts of reasons to be concerned about Tampa. And I'll just tell you exactly what happened. In our meeting this morning, one of our coordinating producers, John Fink, just threw out the question, is there any chance this winds up being Brady's last game? And, Nico, you had an interesting answer.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Tom decided to just kind of walk away and do, whatever he wants to do. Because, listen, right now he's in bonus time. How many 44-year-old quarterbacks have we seen throw for the amount of yards and touchdowns? And he'll be 45 in August. So at this point right now, what else does he have to prove to anybody? What else does he have to check off the list? I mean, he's got TB12 that he has grown to being, in LA, in New York, in Boston, and he's got his own brand coming out in the Brady brand with his clothing line and everything that he has done. He left the Patriots, went to another team, won a Super Bowl, and everything as far as football goes, when you feel content with your career and everything that you've done, you can kind of say, all right, I'm going to walk off on my own 2 feet. So, Tom playing until he's 50, if he really wants to, sure, okay. But if he doesn't, and if he decides, hey, I've had enough, I've done everything I need to do, what's my legacy? What is his legacy? The best quarterback to ever play. So it wouldn't shock me.
This year?
After this year, I feel like you're saying under your breath. Why do you say not after this year?
No, I just don't feel like. I think Tom. What were we saying in the meeting? He's a maniac. Tom is a maniac. And that's why we love him. That's why he's here. That's why he's played so long. I don't think, especially the way this season has gone, if they were to lose and not win a Super Bowl, I can't see Brady ending it all.
The way the season ends doesn't matter. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I don't know what Nico is thinking of that's making him think that all of a sudden he's going to stop being this person. Like, he could have hung it up after 3 Super Bowls when they had that Super Bowl drought in the middle.
After
then
5.
he won 3 more. He could have hung it up then. He had nothing to prove after that. He obviously could have hung it up last year. He had nothing to prove after that. I don't think that you said he could hang it up and go and do whatever it is that he wants to do. What else does he want to do? This is who he is. This is what he wants to do.
Yeah, perhaps. I could make an argument if he wanted to. And I do not want anyone out there saying Rob Ninkovich says Tom Brady is going to retire.
No.
That's not what he's saying, and it's not what we're saying. But I could make an argument, if you look back at the way the last few of his seasons have ended, that this might be the most reasonable time. First, he loses a Super Bowl in which he threw for 500 yards. You're not retiring off that. You need to come back. Then he wins the Super Bowl the next year. You're not going to retire after that. You want to come back and defend it. Then it all ends in New England, and he wants to go prove someplace that it wasn't just Belichick, it wasn't just the system. Then he wins one in Tampa. You want to come back and defend it. This year, as Nico said, okay, they had a really good year. He had a really good year. They lose.
That
He's
seems like
44
such a
years old.
I can end all of this discussion with the first sentence that you, or one word from the first sentence that you said.
Was
reasonable.
Yeah.
That man is not reasonable.
But he isn't going to play forever. So what is the reasonable time for him to hang him up? When he does start to show signs of his age?
When he stops enjoying it, and it gets really unfun when you're not good anymore. He had an MVP level season. He's not going to stop enjoying it at this point.
Do you think he wants us to see him that way? I mean,
I don't think he cares.
No.
I think he wants to. When you said to do whatever it is that he wants to do, I can't imagine that Tom Brady wakes up in the morning and wants to do anything more than what he's doing now. Once it starts hurting and he starts throwing more interceptions than touchdowns, then he's going to be like, this sucks. Let me see about TB12 in or whatever.
His dad told me on the radio after they won it last year, he said he loves the process. Like most people hate the grind. He loves the grind. He loves all of that stuff. Again, no one here is saying he's going to retire. But the idea that he could, is not as far-fetched as the immediate reaction to it might be, despite what people here are saying. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.